Okay guys, I just saw a tweet that the second finalist for SPFBO has been released and I want to do a live reaction. My Patreon suggested me recording my reactions as every book got released because I really follow SPFBO this year, and we have, like, in our Discord we've been following it along, and I think a bunch of us want to read all of the finalists together, which is really exciting. So the second finalist has just been announced, and I'm going to pull that up on my computer, which is right here. But we can actually talk about the first finalist, which is The Tethered Spirit by T.A. Hernandez. Look at how beautiful this edition is. It's shiny, so it's like hard to see with a ring light. The author has put so much love into this. I always talk about how indie books just like shine compared to regular books. Their covers, the work they put into it, each part has like a nice black illustration. This is stunning. I really know nothing about this book, to be honest, but I do remember it sounding really good when I read the synopsis. This is the first one, and I will say, like, I could maybe do like a ranking of which ones I'm most excited about. From what I remember, this is like top of the list. Like, I think I could actually love this. Like, this is my type of fantasy. A man with an unknown past, a girl afraid of her own powers, a woman on a vital mission, and when their paths collide, all three are set on a journey to unravel a mystery far deeper than any of them suspected. Even that just sounds so good. So this was the first announcement for finalist, and I'm definitely excited for this one. But let's go see what's happening. Okay, so it is Team Asylum. So I need to go to queensbookasylum.com. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. Oh my god. I don't remember what blog A Touch of Light belongs to. A Touch of Light and Kingdom of Essence are the only ones in that I've already read that were semi-finalists. Okay, Queen's Book Asylum had 5 semi-finalists. There's The Dragon Charmer's Apprentice by J.C. Kang, Penny for Your Soul by K.A. Ashcombe, Small Miracles by Olivia Atwater, The Umbral Stone by Alec Hudson, and The Witch Hunter by Casey Hollinghead. Was there anything in this that I was rooting for? Okay, so Queen's Book Asylum had Nomads of the Sea in it, and I adored Nomads of the Sea, and I was really, really rooting for that to win, but it's very chunky. But if I remember correctly, The Witch Hunter won over Nomads of the Sea. Like, the reviewer said it was down to those two, and they ended up going with the Grimdark over the Long High Epic Fantasy, and I liked the reviewer said either way, they're picking a controversial book because not all readers will want to read a big, big book, because Nomads is big and long and slow but amazing, and Witch Hunter is a grimdark. So I do actually know I really want to read The Witch Hunter because I want to see what beat out Nomads, and I do like grimdark. But based on covers alone, The Umbral Storm sounds like something I will like. Well, looks like, not sounds like, it looks like something I'll like. It looks like there's a dragon on the cover, there's some warriors, it looks more like epic fantasy. The Dragon Charmer's Apprentice looks very YA, Penny for Your Soul also looks a little YA for me. They're both beautiful, and I'm excited for whatever one wins. They all have really nice covers. Small Miracles catches my attention because it says Bad Angels, Good Intentions. I think I'm definitely rooting for The Witch Hunter or The Umbral Storm in terms of my own taste. The time has come when we have to say goodbye to the last 4 books and crown, pun and totally intended, Team Queen Book Asylum's SPFBO 8 finalists. These past few months went away in a blur, but you know what they say, time flies when you're in good company. I'd like to take the chance to thank all you authors who submitted their books this year for our reading pleasure. We've certainly found books to love, thought they provoked our thoughts, and ultimately made us have a very different opinion, and sparking a lot of conversations among the team. You were amazing, no matter what the results today are. Keep up the work. I love that they said that at the beginning, because obviously, like, if I'm stressed, I can't imagine being an author. I have, like, no real foot in this competition, but, like, I'm rooting for certain books, and, like, I'm just excited about it. So for this one, every single person on their team read those semi-finalists. Normally when I found the way blogs do it is that they have people there's like the head person and people underneath them who read things, and then the head person reads all the semi-finalists that everyone else chose. I like that they cut theirs down and then everyone read their semi-finalists, and they do like a scoreboard the way that SPFBO does a scoreboard. Based on everyone's ratings, there was a clear winner. And there was a book that 3 of them out of 5 marked their favorite based on their scores. And these 2 are Small Miracles and The Umbral Storm. This is good. The question was faced was to go with one the 2 of us rated high enough to make it to the top, or pick the one the majority of us liked more. I like to say we had a long and bloody discussion about it, but as I mentioned before, my team is just sickening, sweet, and agreeable. We came to a slightly disappointing quick decision, which I'm going to share with you now. Our SPFBO finalist is, oh my god, there's going to be so many memes. Small Miracles, Bad Angels, Good Intentions. But wait, something more to say. We clearly couldn't ignore the fact the Umbral Umbral Storm made an impact with the majority of the team, and we thought it would still deserve a chance at being a finalist. So we were offering it as our SSN. What does this mean? SSN stands for Senlin Safety Net. When a team feels strongly about 2 of their books, they can candidate one of their SSN, meaning if any other team who might have not as strong a batch could choose it as their finalist. Basically, this is a second chance at advancing into the top 10. We look forward to seeing if any other teams will pick it up. Fingers crossed. Why do I want to cry? I'm so invested in this. Like, I'm just like so happy for this author. What is wrong with me? Congrats to Olivia Atwater for Small Miracles. Okay, we need to go order this. This is very interesting because I think this is the opposite of what I look for at all in fantasy. Like, nothing about this synopsis intrigues me, where the other one sounds really, really good if I remember correctly. I'm gonna go look at what their other one sounds like. Yeah, the other one sounds like completely what I love and enjoy in fantasy. This is the thing though, there's so much, something about this competition is that like fantasy is such a broad term, and so I do think that it's really amazing that a judge can like both of those, and they try not to be too prejudiced against books that aren't typically what they read. So I'm like really excited to read Small Miracles. I'm not letting myself DNF any finalists. I want to read them all the way through, even if they're not typically what I like. So I'm excited to try it. It's definitely not what I was rooting for. Add to cart. Proceed to checkout. Place your order. The second finalist has been ordered, so now there's something. I think I'm still in the prediction this is ahead and then Small Waters is below. Let's unbox this bad boy. Okay, at first touch, it's a matte cover, I believe. It feels nice. It's short. It's way shorter than I thought it was. Okay. Oh, okay. You guys are gonna see first. Honestly, it really reminds me of like Neil Gaiman type covers. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I don't hate this cover. I know some people think it's really ugly. It's really, really simple, but it doesn't affect me. Like, I like a simple cover. I like white covers. I think it kind of tries to let the tagline speak for itself. I do kind of wish there was something else to it. It's got the creamy papers. Oh, there's footnotes. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. There's footnotes. Front cover. And then you open to that page. Chapter 1. It's going to be too bright for you to see, I think. And there's like a little feather drawing there. Is it the same in every chapter? Which I think it's the same way in Tethered Spirits. Weight-wise, this is definitely much heavier, but like it's also a lot bigger. Like, look at these two compared to each other. A pretty solid batch. You know what? Seeing this in person made me a little bit more excited. I think the footnotes is a very intriguing part of it. Yeah, nothing has been announced yet. I think the next one is going to be Bookborn, which is tomorrow, and I am excited to see what she picks for that one. Okay, we've had another finalist announced. I'm nervous. This is Bookborn's, and it's a YouTube video because she is on YouTube instead of a blog. I'm so nervous. I don't even know why. I'm not even rooting for anything in here. She does a bunch of small reviews first, so let's just listen to those. You probably won't get any reactions from me from there, and I will skip to like afterwards. Yeah. I will say I follow 2 reviewers on Bookborn's team extensively, so I'm aware of what Dom from Domish Books says and Michael Nip says about their books, because I really watched all of their reviews for their picks, as I already watched their channel. But I think Leslie from Leslie's Narrative, I've only seen a couple. Pete, I've only seen a couple, and I think Joanna, I've also only seen a couple. But Bookborn's probably the team I followed the most in depth of, because I already knew some of these people, and it was a lot more of the booktube sphere, which is obviously the sphere I live in, which I thought was really cool. I really liked having a booktuber in this. I thought that it was a cool add-on for what consists of a blog, because essentially we are blogs, but we're just video blogs. And yeah, I really liked that she was in this. That was really cool. Okay, we're getting into the finalist. So I'm excited for this. I want to say that I really definitely think that it's between Fires of Forebearers and Stones of Eltora for this. This is my prediction. It just definitely seems like the other 3 books weren't Bookborn style, which like, it's so hard because the thing with this competition is that there's no rules to it. Mark Lawrence specifically leaves it very vague because all of these bloggers are putting in their own time. They're doing it for free. They're doing it for fun. So it's really, really vague. And so there is an issue of like subjectiveness, obviously within everything, even in general, even in regular like ruled competitions, there's always subjectiveness on whether you like a book or not. So like I find it really tough because I agree, like with her picks, these are the two I'm most excited for, and so I was like was rooting for them to win because they are the most my style. But I will say, like, it does suck as an author to have your book just go to someone who just doesn't like that as much, which again is why I liked the way it was done in the other blog. So I have a feeling it's one of those. I'm excited to find out. I'm excited because it means I'll like reading it. Let's just get into it. I'm just stalling.
So, without further ado, my finalist pick is The Fire of the Forebears by L.A. Buck. Overall, this book was just so polished. I read this and everything from start to finish worked together, made sense, and just was fully realized.
Oh god, I'm gonna cry. Okay, the ending was very sad, and like my heart goes out to that family. I'm really glad that they're still picking it. Since I probably won't be showing the clip, just so everyone knows, is the author of the book that they picked actually passed away from cancer, and cancer is a terrible thing, and I have no words. But I think that it's amazing that they still decided to pick the book, even though the author is no longer around to see it succeed. Very literate, but let's go buy the book. Well, it has been bought. I know nothing about this book, I can't lie, so we'll wait for it to come and do an unboxing with you while we wait for more finalists to come. So we're down to 3 out of 10. Hi, I'm just out of the shower. It's the beginning of my workday, but we had another SPFBO finalist arrive, so let's unbox it together and compare it to these 2 books. Ta-da! Oh! This is a chonker. I mean, it's fantasy, so like epic fantasy, so what did I expect? It's pretty floppy. I love a good flop. I didn't even know if I checked if any of these were floppy. This one's not floppy, but it's like the normal size, so I wouldn't expect it to. But Tethered Star is an oversized and decently floppy. I think this is floppier, but it also, maybe not. This just has more weight to it. These are both the shiny texture. Obviously this one's matte. I like the look of matte, but I actually, especially when like holding it up for the camera, I hate the way like shiny goes, but the shiny and indie does feel really nice on your hand. We have the paper color that I like. It's not stark white. The font is pretty like this is pretty big. If you look, like, this is page 4. It's like top to bottom font, and I think it's gonna be like your typical like 12-point font. Decent size. We have a map. Oh, I love when there's like all the chapters and the chapter headings at the front of the book. Makes it easy if you're like flipping formats. I don't see any like extra illustrations or anything like that. It's still a really like nice, well done book. Obviously with this one, since the author has sadly passed away, it'll be interesting to see for me because it is a series that obviously will never be finished. It's not a book I would typically pick up literally for that reason, but I'm excited to see how it goes. Now we also have some new finalists to read their announcements for. Okay, this was the blog that I knew one was coming for because they had it down to 2 books. So in my Discord, like my Patreon Discord, we were discussing both are books that I necessarily wouldn't read. I wouldn't lean towards reading them. I was rooting for one more than the other just because one was a lesser known author, where the other author, although this book is indie, does publish traditional middle grade. So that author just has more of a viewership already, and I was hoping for the lesser known one to win, since I'm not really interested in either, just because I think that's what this competition does best, is like give smaller authors a chance to grow and gain an audience. And so that's, I thought that the competition would really succeed for that author compared to the other. But let's look. So it is Weatherwax Report finalist. Hey guys, so if you followed us last year, you'll know we had a dead heat tie when we were trying to decide who to put forward. We had the 2 of the exact same scores for 2 books, both had an 8.25 and an 8.5. There wasn't even a high or low score to go off to break the tie. I love when blogs base their finalists off of scores. We've talked about that. We've hemmed and hawed and hemmed, and eventually we chose We Men of Ashes. Oh look, we did it again this year. We have a dead heat tie. The scores are the same. I gave an 8.25 to both finalists, and Kristen gave an 8.5 to both finalists. There's no high or low to go off of to eliminate one. After much deliberation, it's scales and sensibility moving forward. We're gonna have a cozy set of finalists y'all. It's got dragons, it's got comedies, it's going to the final. Congratulations to Stephanie for advancing to the next round. So we have Scales and Sensibility, which is Regency Dragons, which does intrigue me enough. Like, I would not pick up this book without SPFBO, but because it's in SPFBO, I'm not angry I have to read it, but this was the one I wasn't rooting for because it is a well-known author. I was rooting for A Bitter Drink by Azealia Forrest, which is also a little bit cozier than my normal read. It's weird. It's got a bi-plant man who's an utter disaster, and I've seen it tagged idiots to lovers, which is my new favorite romance classification. But in terms of wanting to read, I want to read Scales and Sensibility probably a little bit more just because, like, Regency Dragons. Let's go buy this one. Let's see if this one's on KU as well, because so far nothing has been on KU for finalists, which, like, indie books are normally pretty big on KU, so I hope they put them on KU. Nope, not on KU, but the Kindle edition is pretty cheap. Let's buy the paperback because I'm a paperback kind of gal. Placed my order. I don't really have much to say about this one, but the cover intrigues me. I mean, there's a dragon, and I like dragons. Anyways, I'll see you whenever another update comes. This update's a couple days old. I just didn't have the chance to be at my desk, so I have been avoiding looking at this spoiler for a really long time. I'm expecting another one today. We're in the final, like, 10 days, 9 days of the SPFBO phase 1, which means we have to have all 10 finalists by the end of this, like, week. There's a bunch of semi-finalists that are happening. People are cutting like crazy. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's really interesting. I know that in Dom's Discord, which is like one of the major places that I hang out in to learn about SPFBO, I hang out in Dom's Discord, India Cord's Discord, and then also there's a Facebook page as well as Zach Argyle's blog and Mark Lawrence's blog, who Mark Lawrence runs it, so it's probably the most official. We had another finalist picked, so here we go. I think it's Before We Go blog, which I think has the Rob J. Hayes book, I believe. And I'll be like, I honestly assumed they were picking Rob J. Hayes from the beginning. I just feel like sometimes popularity really wins out. I don't know anything about them, so that's nothing on them. I don't really follow the blog reviewers, but like, if any blog had Rob J. Hayes, my immediate instinct would have been that they're gonna pick them just because he's so big and he's so loved. But okay. Let's look at this announcement and see who it is. What a contest for the Before We Go blog team. This is my 3rd year being a part of this contest and the 2nd year of running a team, and I have never seen a group as deep and brimming with talent as our pool is. Aww. Which made things difficult. In all honesty, I can see our semi-finalists going through. Each of them had qualities that many of us seek out in novels, even those novels that were sadly forced to cut early in the competition enthralled many of our wonderful team. Okay, positive things about all the books. Dan's first year. I love that they like have all the judges talking. This is so cute. Dan, this is my first year as a judge, and wow, what a great lot of books we drew. I was expecting a mixed bag in terms of quality, but everything I read was really solid. Even our cuts were professional quality books. That said, a few stood out from the rest. Oh, and they all talk about the books they really, really liked. This is so cool. Oh, they do have Spirit of Vengeance. Honestly, I never really paid attention to what books they had, and I'm not sure which one I want to vote for. I heard Thrice was really good, but it's like small scale fantasy, which is not my typical style. The 13th Hour is gaslamp fantasy with magical tech, cruel gods, and themes of social inequality, and plus some nice sense of romance, which I gather will be born out in the future books. That one, I like the idea of the gaslamp fantasy, out of my comfort zone a little bit, but intriguing. Baker Thief is a perfectly queer normative fantasy mystery that does outstanding work with complex gender identities and brings a cozy aspect and unique romance arc. Definitely not voting for that one because I don't like cozy, and I already have a couple cozies that are in the running, so I really wish I want like some epics. Spirits of Vengeance by Rob J. Hayes. With the Rob J. Hayes, which is probably more up my alley in terms of what I typically read. But I'm just one of those people that wants this competition to kind of bring out the ones that need it. So I'm not voting for Rob J. Hayes because of that. And I really, even though it's probably an amazing book, and that's not what this competition is for, and since I'm not a real judge, I feel like I'm allowed to like have these inner workings where I'm like, I just want to see some of these indies put up a little bit higher, and Rob J. Hayes doesn't need the publicity. If I was a real judge, I'd be judging based on book quality, so I get it. Ultimately, we had to settle on one book. No matter how strong our batch, no matter how many books we fell in love with, it was time to select one finalist. It came down to a vote. Which one book stood out most? Which one book captured the biggest pieces of each reviewer's heart? Eventually, it became clear that it was going to be a choice between two books that just had that edge. It came down to a vote between Spirits of Vengeance by Rob J. Hayes and The 13th Hour by Trudy Skies. Okay, I want 13th Hour to win. I really hope it wins. Anyone got a drum roll for us? We went back and forth again. We were so fortunate to have such a strong batch, and I have to commend all the other amazing books. Eventually, votes came to a cohesive answer. Oh! They chose The 13th Hour! I am shooketh right now. And because we had so many incredible books in our group, we decided to do something not often done in this competition, and that is to select a Senlin. The Senlin Safety Net, if their blog feels it has 2 books worthy of being finalists, and one of those will be offered to other groups if they would like to pick it up. This is the second book that's put on the Senlin Safety Net this time. I wonder, we'll see some reviewing of rules and like restrictions or anything like that due to the fact that we're getting such high ones. If there'll be like a little bit more like swapping between each other, if we'll like kind of add the Senlin Safety Net enough times, like if we'll add that kind of concept more in depth into this blog off. As much as I'm very excited that they went with the lesser, at least I don't know who Trudy Skies is. I don't know a lot of indie authors, but that's the reason where I'm like, if I know Rob J. Hayes, I definitely will still think I will try Spirits of Vengeance. I do have a couple Rob J. Hayes that I plan on trying, but I'm so excited for the 13th Hour. The 13th Hour has a score of 8.5 from Before We Go. Oh my gosh, I need to go buy it. I'm so excited. This is like the most mind-blowing situation that I was not expecting. And like, this is me knowing nothing about the blog. This is nothing against the blog. I just know that Rob J. Hayes has a very high standard of writing. So I think the fact that a book even beat out Rob J. Hayes is incredible. And just shows you, hey, we have our first finalist on KU. Book 1 of 2, it's a duology. Okay. I'm going to read the synopsis because I have no idea what this book is about. Honestly, I was expecting Spirit's Vengeance to go through. For the city that bows to cruel gods, it'll take godless heathens to save it. Gaslit fantasy featuring magical portals, gothic cosmic deities, quaint Britishisms, and steampunk vibes. This is an adult book containing strong language and mature themes that some readers may find disturbing. Okay, I'm really glad that it says it's an adult book because from synopsis, I was getting more YA, and like the cover to me screamed very YA fantasy. But I like the synopsis. I love that it's adult. It's classified in dark fantasy horror fiction, up my alley. I think that this one could be a contender for me of a book that I really enjoy. I'm really excited about this one. Let's buy it. The Bloodbath is slowly going. We have another finalist. We have the Fantasy Book Critic finalist today. Okay, this is the Fantasy Book Critic, and they had 3 semi-finalists, and they've had their 3 semi-finalists for a really long time. So actually, if I were to pick any blog that was going to use the Senlin Safety Net, which is, I don't know if I explained this, 2 other blogs have used it. It was created because of Senlin Ascends back in the day. They picked their finalist, and then their other like runner-up would go into the Senlin Safety Net if you choose to use it. And this means that if a blog thinks that all of their books aren't finalist worthy, they can pick and read the Safety Net book. So I think if anyone were going to use it, it would be this blog, just because with only 3 finalists and having them for so long, I feel like they just weren't sure of their finalists, so they might have been waiting for the Senlin Safety Nets. They did, additionally 2 blogs offered Senlin Safety Net options, and we decided to read them to choose the best book. I knew this was going to happen. I read one of these books. We've enjoyed all of them, and the prospect of sawing off another 4 entries held no appeal to us. Unfortunately, SPFBO rules require blogs to make tough decisions, such as harsh reality of this bloodbath contest. Okay, we had a pick. The Awakening the Gods, moody rhythm, likable and nuanced characters, an excellent blend of romance, mythology, and adventures that balance lighter parts with dark ones. It's a slow book, but we didn't mind. Fly with the Arrow, YA, new adult vibe, plays with tropes, but it's fun, engaging, and well-paced. Kingdom of Essence blends romance, politics, and magic into an intriguing mix. The story provides a satisfying conclusion, but leaves plenty to explore in the sequels. Lots of fun here. I do agree with that. My problems with Kingdom of Essence were the lower fantasy system, a little bit less of a hard magic system. It had a soft magic system, and the romance wasn't the biggest fan. And then we have the Spirits of Vengeance, which was a Senlin Safety Net, and the Umbral Storm, which is a Senlin Safety Net. At this stage, we had to decide how to evaluate one good book against another and whether it's all possible to come to some sort of fair and objective decision. We tried to base our choices on the following criteria, listed in alphabetical order. I love when they do this. Characterization, editing, personal enjoyment, plotting, world building, and writing style. Those are solid reasons. Each of these titles has its own strengths and few drawbacks. After long and tumultuous discussions, we've agreed to pick the finalists among the 3 following titles: Fly with the Arrow, The Umbral Storm, and Spirits of Vengeance. The 3 stood out to us and were all pleasant to read and entertained. To say the debate among us was heated would be an understatement. If it's Rob J. Hayes, I might riot because of what I literally talked to you last time. I just want it to go to someone who is less known in the community. And I that might be unfair to Rob J. Hayes, but like, he doesn't need the marketing that this competition does. And I just don't want him to be in it. I don't know. I plan on reading the book. It looks like it's a beautiful book. Everyone loves it, but I want the competition to do what it's supposed to do. The Umbral Storm! Okay, I actually wanted to read this. Anyway, so this one really works for me. It is very interesting that they used a safety net one. I have big expectations because I have read Kingdom of Essence, so this better be better than Kingdom of Essence in my mind. Not that I loved Kingdom of Essence, but I definitely, for me, Kingdom of Essence, I saw a target demographic that just wasn't myself, if that makes sense. But I am excited. This is the type of fantasy that I like to read. So here we go. I'm gonna go buy that. We have a couple more finalists to do, and we're gonna have a lot of unboxings coming lately, so thanks for following along with me. Hi, this is the first time this video is in a different location, but I'm getting ready for bed. So we're in my bedroom, which is where most of my videos are filmed. Like, I'm either at my desk or in my bedroom. There's no in between. My bookshelves are in my bedroom. But I believe this has 2 finalists in it for me to unbox, so let's do that. I'm trying not to look. One's silky, one's matte. I'm gonna guess the silky one is Scales and Sensibility, and the matte's the other one. What's this one? This is the matte one. Oh, Cruel Gods, the 13th Hour. I really wish that the 13th Hour was the big one, because I don't understand why on this that the series title is the big one, and the book title is so small. Like, I would definitely call this the Cruel Gods first looking at it. That is my biggest complaint. I don't like people on my covers, so this cover really does nothing for me. But I do like the tones of it. I like the spine a lot with like the clock on the spine. I think that's really nice. That does not pass the flop check. It's fine. Not every book needs to be floppy, Cassidy, but it does not pass the flop check. Inside wise, we have that. That looks nice. A content warning. We all love a content warning over here. And it has like a full list of content warnings on her site, but this just has some minor breakdowns. Love that. A small map, but we do get a map. It is quite small. I prefer my maps to be bigger, like, but it's a clock. Oh, that's cool. I'm excited for this one, looking at that. The Covenant of Mortals and Gods. There's like pledges in the first page. I'm guessing that's so cool. The Unforgivable Sins. And then part 1 has like a little design. Chapter 1 has some good thought to it with like a little quote beforehand. The font is small. The font is tiny, but like the book is smaller. Like if I compare it to, this is a chunk. This is a big book, but like size-wise a lot smaller. I think it's actually even smaller than Small Miracles. It's just Small Miracle stands out a little bit this way. I'm flipping through to see if there's any other illustrations. What's that? I saw something. Oh, there's like a little clock watch to like separate some, obviously like time jumps or something. Part 2 also has a clock. I think it's the same drawing there. But either way, like, yeah, it's the same drawing. But either way, like, they don't have to put that in there. And I think that that's beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. I love the clock and the like sin stuff. I'm actually really excited to read this one. This one is going to be a surprise for me, I think, of whether I like it or don't like it. I'm excited. This is why I love this comp and following along with it, is I would probably not have read this without it. Okay, but we have another book in here. I think this one's Scales and Sensibilities. I was correct. I looked at it before you. And it is shiny. I love this cover. I don't know why, but it works for me. It just works for me. I'm normally a plain white or black fantasy gal. Literally really simple. Don't like color. Don't like a lot going on. But this just works for me. I hate the spine though. The spine is ugly, but this is great. Spine, not so much. But it does like try to keep like the classic feel with the spine, I think. Not super floppy. Definitely floppier than Cruel Gods. It's not the name, the 13th Hour. See, I told you. We have creamy paper. I think Cruel Gods did too. So far we haven't had an indie come with the like stark white that like Ilborn is. Nothing super unique about this. No like designs really. We have just like the Scales and Sensibility in start. Note to readers, this book uses British rather than American spellings as its characters would consider only proper. That's funny. This one, I'm not a cozy kind of gal, so I'm not expecting to like this one that much. Should we do a ranking? I haven't done a ranking since like the first one, and I have them all here. Okay, so if I'm looking at the stack, I think this is how I'm sitting I think this is how I'm sitting currently on what I predict I will like. I think I will like this one the least and this one the most. Although Tethered Spirits and Fires of the Forebears are like intermittent, I don't know. This could be too classic fantasy for me. This could maybe go a little too young for me. I think it's adult, but something about it gives me a little bit of a accessible adult. And then I do think that this one is a wild card. I could end up loving it or I could end up hating it. And Scales of Sensibility, I don't like cozy, but like I hope that I love it. But definitely I think this is the way things will go for me at this moment in time. And tomorrow we get Booknest's announcement, which has a touch of light on it, which I'm just cheering for. So I also have my cover reveal for A Touch of Light sequel tomorrow. So I hope that it makes it to finalist so that it's not like a cut at a cover reveal, but like at least one good thing happened tomorrow for and then. And then I think we're also getting another blogs tomorrow. So I'm excited. I have a book coming tomorrow, the next one. And yeah, also if A Touch of Light wins, it's nice because I already own it. One less part of my bank account. Good morning. I love that I say good morning to you all the time, but you guys have no concept of time in this video unless I decide to like make you have time. But we have another finalist announcement. I'm nervous. Okay, they didn't hide anything at all. It's their title is the winner, so there's no like suspense here, which I'm kind of sad. It is Song for the Void by Andrew C. Piazza, self-published fantasy blog off number 8, round 1, first place winner. Okay, I know nothing about this book. Let's look at the cover. There's a ship on the cover. I like ship fantasy. I like fantasy on water. I haven't read that many, but I love live ships. We don't talk about bone ships anymore because I didn't like that one, but I did like Half a King, which happens on water. Oh, and Nomads of the Sea happens on boats. I just want to read more. Give me more like boats. Oh, 1853 South China Sea. So like alternate history fantasy. I haven't had the best luck with that, but I did like She Who Became the Sun, which is kind of like that, and I guess the Poppy War is also kind of like that, so maybe it's just Babel that has salted my waters. Oh, it's the Opium Wars, like Poppy War. A crew of steam frigates pursue a fleet of pirates who have been terrorizing the water surrounding Hong Kong. But now the hunters have become the hunted, something else has come to the South China Sea, something ancient and powerful and malevolent. Now the crew of the Charger must face the worst nightmare in order to survive the terrible creature they come to know as the Dark Store. A dark tale, compelling story, great prose, hanging on the edge of your seat. It had more horror than we normally enjoy in a story, but the high caliber of the writing characterization kept us glued to the pages. Below is a section of thoughts from the judges to say their own words why they picked the book as our winner. Julia loved the time period, which I think that this one actually will be on the lower end of my predictions, but a bit of a wild card for me just because I don't overly like urban fantasy. I don't tend to like when it's our world but just a little bit different. I want a bigger fantastical narrative, and yes, She Who Became the Sun and Poppy War kind of are our world. They did it well enough that in my head it wasn't our world. I like when they're not using, well, I don't really know enough about She Who Became the Sun, actually I shouldn't really say that, but like when they're using fantastical names and all of that, that works way better for me than using Hong Kong. I'm just not an urban fantasy kind of gal. So we'll see. I'm scared. I'm a little scared. But the horror element of it intrigues me a lot. I like a darker fantasy. I like a little bit of horror. Hardest to read and one of the hardest to write a review for. I'm a little nervous. Oh my god, I'm a little nervous. The prose in this one, everyone talks about the prose. I'm not a prose kind of gal. I like very straightforward writing. I like the prose of like Sanderson. I don't want description. I don't want Tolkien's Every Blade of Grass. I don't need my words to like flow very nicely. I just want to get to the point of the story. I'm scared. Okay, I'm a little scared for this one. This is very scary. Again, I liked that all the judges scored the books. I don't have much else to say. I'm gonna go buy it. So we had another finalist announcement, so I need to go do this. It's been like half an hour. Let's look at it. Oh god, Kay, I'm stressed. Like, it has to be A Touch of Light. It has to be A Touch of Light. This is so funny because in 30 minutes, I have my cover reveal. SPFBO finalist announcement. Dark Lord spoke. Okay, just get there. Get it to me. Greetings, gentle reader, and welcome to Booknest SPFBO 8 finalist announcement. After much consideration, detailed reading, and blood sacrifices, Petros has decided to send A Touch of Light! With a score of 8 out of 10, we'd like to offer special congratulations to Thiago on his remarkable story, which captivated both Rai and Petros. To all of our other semi-finalists and to everyone who shared their stories with us this year, to the other 9 blogs, we offer special thanks. The competition wouldn't be possible without your incredible and dedicated teams. Onward to phase 2! To be honest, like, I don't have to flip my table. I was ready to flip my table if he didn't make it, to just desk go bye-bye. I'm so happy, but like, I also just like knew it was coming. Like, as much as I've been sitting here and I've been like, oh my god, the pressure, like there was no reason it wouldn't be a finalist. Like, it's so good. If you read it, you just know it deserves this spot, and I already own it, so I don't need to go buy it, which is really nice. I won't show you it now because I'm just lazy, but when I get the other one to do the unboxing, I'll show you all of them. But yeah, I'm so happy. I love this book. So this is like probably gonna be what I predict my favorite book to be, since I've actually already read it. But I'm so excited. I'm filming this on my phone. Sorry that we're getting this kind of quality for this update, but I'm at my lake. We're relaxing for the weekend, but of course that does not mean that the finalists aren't coming. I wanted to update you. Everyone else is sleeping, so I just didn't want to get my camera and like do the whole setup and do the whole shebang. So we're updating you on my phone. I hope you can forgive me for that. And this is like a terrible, terrible angle, but let's go look at what the finalist is. The Fantasy Inn. I also have not brushed my hair this morning yet, so this is real, this is raw, this is real-time reactions. The Fantasy Inn posted theirs. Our SPFBO finalist is ... The Fantasy Inn semi-finalists, I don't think that there was anything I was rooting for particularly. There's two that would really work for me on Lavender Tides is Pokemon based with like progression fantasy, Pokemon inspired progression fantasy, which is not really my thing, but for some reason I like the cover, also not my thing. And like the idea of it kind of calls to me, although like I don't think I'll love it. Where the other ones they have, I think I have like I could really like, but overall I don't have strong feelings for or against any of their picks. Oh, look, they said we really struggled with this, like really struggled. They had a simpler system that meant a bit less reading, and well, we failed. We had too many good books. This shouldn't be a problem in a competition like this. It kind of sort of is. 8 books in need of extra reads from the team to whittle down our batch to a manageable size. We seriously considered coin flipping there for a bit. We kept coming up with ties. Even when we eventually got down to 2 books, we managed to tie. With 5 readers having read them both, 5, you know, an odd number, truly we were stumped. Reaching a final decision took days. To stall a bit, we'll show you them in the order we announced them. Yeah, so I think when I look at this, I think the one I want the most is either Mysterious Ways or The Rolling Lass, and I really think that it's The Rolling Lass that I'm wanting. At this point, we want again to hammer home the point that this was a ridiculously close decision. Eventually, we came to a decision, and so we're glad to reveal that Fantasy Inn's finalist this year, SPFBO, advancing to phase 2 with a score of 7.5 is click to reveal, click to reveal. I love the way they do this. Mysterious Ways by Abby Evans. Okay, I'm not angry about this one at all. Vibes heavy book. A roller coaster ride that'll have you smiling as it wrenches you this way and that along an unexpected journey. Chaotic enemies to lovers, romance, more demons than you can poke a stick at, and proof that the only use for magical phones is to organize hookups. Honestly, sounds like fantasy romance, and I do actually like fantasy romance, so if I go into it expecting it, I could like it. I could like it. I'm not angry. Okay, let's go buy this. While I'm editing, I did forget to say that in the end that this book was only available through Kindle. You could not get a physical edition of it, which really sucks, but hopefully with the exposure it'll get in this competition, maybe we will get a physical copy of it at some point. We've had another finalist announced. It is our last finalist, so I'm really excited about that, but I am home now. And so we have an unboxing. Oh my god, this is chunky. This is so chunky. This is really intriguing. Oh, I actually love this cover, which is like really odd for me. Like typically I don't like a cover where like it's like blocky like this, if that makes sense. I like prefer a seamless looking cover, but every once in a while it will work for me. And is the O an eyeball? Is that what it is with like the little like dot in it? This is so chunky. Oh my god, I'm so scared. 1,000 years ago, the heart of the world was shattered, its fragments scattered across the lands. We have creamy pages. Flop is there. Writing, the font looks standard to me. Multi-POV, buzzwords over here. This is our title page. Nothing super special. We have a 2-page map. Very simple, but like I don't mind simple because then sometimes it's easy to follow. And about the author, acknowledgements. nothing really else going on in it, but like it's almost 600 pages, so it didn't need the extra pages probably. So that makes sense. But I think that this one actually might be my top one. I think I'm predicting I will like, other than A Touch of Light, because I've already read A Touch of Light. Let's go look at what the last finalist is, and then I'll grab them all. They're in the shelf over here. I have like a little SPFBO finalist shelf happening, and I will rank them for you guys. Okay, I think it's like Lynn's Books or something. Is it this last finalist? Oh, that's strong. I made a strong boy today. I'm nervous. I don't know why. I don't really know what's in this one, to be honest. Oh yeah, this was Lynn's book blog and Critiquing Chemist. I liked that they kind of put the two blogs together. I thought that was very interesting. Oh, now I get that LB equals TC2. I just scrolled and I didn't read, and I meant to do more, but Miss Percy's Pocket Guide to the Care and Feeding of British Dragons. This is cozy. So like, for me, meh, but there's dragons and the cover is so cute. Like the little dragon in the egg. 9 out of 10. That is the highest score a book has gotten yet. Oh my lord. I don't know anything. I need to go to Zach's blog to see what it was up against. I'm gonna be reading so much cozy fantasy. I'm so scared for myself. Oh yes. It was up against Blood Crows, The Worldbreaker Requiem, and Ever Alice. And to be honest, I think I was rooting for Blood Crows, but none of them sounded that good to me. I did not want The Worldbreaker Requiem to win. I also thought it was weird because it's technically like a second book in a series, according to like Goodreads at least, but like not my mind. And the Ever Alice cover like just screams no to me. But I was thinking Blood Crows just based on cover. It just looks like maybe it would go towards epic fantasy. Not that it was, but let's go buy this book and let's rank all of these for you. Maria's gonna be so happy. She's been rooting for this one from the beginning because she just wanted to read it. I don't think we will get an unboxing for this last one, but maybe I'm lying to you just because I think I might be putting this video up today so it can go up as fast as possible. And so I don't know if I want to wait for the last book to come. So if I don't give it a unboxing on here, it will get an unboxing over on Instagram. You can follow me at Covers with Cassidy on Instagram, pretty much any social platform at Covers with Cassidy, or like Covers with Cass. But let's give you a full ranking, including the two books I don't own physically yet. These two will be the covers, the ones I don't own. I'm gonna put them with the writing out to you so that it just is a little bit less confusing. You know what? Rankings are hard because I think my rankings have changed since last time I talked to you. So very easily at the top is A Touch of Light. I've read it. I loved it. 5 stars. I don't give a lot of 5 stars out, so I'm like not expecting anything to beat this for me, but we'll see. I'm gonna be vlogging my entire experience reading all of these. The goal to do that is in December. I will be rereading A Touch of Light, which I never reread books. So I think at first A Touch of Light, and then I think I will love The Umbrella Storm. I'm really hyped for that one. Then I think, now that I've thought on it, I think Tethered Spirits, although could maybe be a little young, will go next. Then probably Fires of the Forebears, although that could lean to classic fantasy for me. Then we're definitely going with The 13th Hour. That sounds fun. Scales and Sensibilities. I think this is the time where I'm going to say the Dragon Pocket Guide will come in. And after that, I think Mysterious Ways will come in. And then for me, Small Miracles, Bad Angels, Good Intentions. So this is my prediction rank. Edmund Casty, but it's 5 seconds later, so it's fine. I actually realized I'm missing another book in this stack. Song for the Void, actually, I think I'm going to stick at the bottom, right before Small Miracles, back into the real video, which we'll see how much this is right or wrong, because I have a really fun announcement. So a bunch of me and some other booktubers and book bloggers were kind of discussing the SPFBO competition, and there are some things that we wish were changed about it. We don't expect it to change, but these are things that we would love if it did. So we were like, hey, why don't we do it? So I'm getting a group of 10 booktubers and book bloggers together, and we will be all reading the SPFBO finalists, the 10 finalists within the 6 months that we have to read them, like in SPFBO, and we all have a spreadsheet made, and we will all be ranking them and comparing our stats to the competition stats. But our one real big difference is that we have a rubric made so that we are all rating based on the same system of ranking. We will be giving each book a score out of 10 for characters, plot, world building / setting, dependent on what they are, writing, and just overall enjoyment. And then we will get an average score from all of those, and that will be the book score, and then we will see what the average score for each book is in the end. Literally the way Mark Lawrence does it. Like, I'm stealing Mark Lawrence's little way of doing it, but I've just added the rubric because I think that was our biggest downfall, is I can't compare everyone's statistics if they don't rate the same. So I love the competition. There's nothing wrong with how they do it, but this would just be my personal preference on how to do it, and a couple of us just thought, why not? At the time of filming this, I am still looking for a couple book bloggers and booktubers to join me. If you are interested, let me know. You can message me on any social media platform, and yeah, I'll keep updating all of you guys on kind of things during the next 6 months that happen, and you can look out for my vlog. I will be vlogging me reading all 10 of these bad boys with that rating system. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and let me know down below which finalist you are most excited for reading. And I feel like I know all your guys' answers because it's the one I've hyped up and the one I've read, but if there's another one, let me know. But like, also let me know if it's A Touch of Light.